Could the Earth ever stop spinning, and what would happen if it did? 2021 was the year of uncertainties. Being stuck by a pandemic that had the potential to do so much more gave the entire world a wake-up call to take care of the planet. This is because we cannot even see a microscopic being manage to shake up our entire planet. This had us wondering if something even worse could occur on our Earth. Something way bigger than a virus attacking us. We went out of the box and thought about the Earth's movements. What makes it ticking except science? And what if science didn't exist for a moment? Make sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure to press the bell icon to be notified for our upcoming videos. What if the Earth stopped spinning? Have you ever wondered what would happen if it did? Well, the first thing is that there's a reason the Earth is spinning and it has stopped, because if it did, then the effects would certainly be devastating. Let's look into this entire matter for a bit, because very few people know how damaging this could be if it proved to have ever happened. Maybe at the end of time? Who knows? The phenomenon of spinning. Our Earth doesn't stop spinning because there isn't anything in space to stop it from moving, not even air. The space in our solar system is thoroughly vacuumed, which is why the Earth keeps rotating on its axis without coming to a stoppage. One thing that slows the Earth down is the moon's force. The motion on the side of the Earth that faces the moon isn't correctly balanced by gravity, nor is the side of the Earth facing away from the moon. This manages to create an imbalance between the ocean and tides that makes the oceans bulge out on either side of the Earth. As it spins, these bulges move across the Earth's surface like a wave, managing to push against the Earth's spin. The only thing which could stop the Earth from moving is another planet. If another planet came crashing into the Earth, only then would the Earth come to a complete halt. Nevertheless, some possibilities could occur if our planet stops rotating. 6-month day. If the Earth stops spinning, then one concept people have in their minds is to begin to float. Not really. Gravity will keep you firmly on the ground, and a day on the Earth would last half a year, that's 6 months. So it would be even warmer during the day and colder than ever during the night. Climate would seriously be affected. We stop moving. If the Earth stopped spinning all at once, it would not be very pleasant for the entirety of the planet's surface. Although we might not feel it, all of us are moving with the planet as it moves. When we put this into context from the equator, this is about 1,000 miles per hour. If you bring the entire planet to a halt, everything sitting on top of the planet will fly towards the eastern side. Now imagine for a second that houses, rocks, trees, mountains, and the ground being launched rapidly to the side at hundreds of miles per hour. On the other hand, high-speed winds rotating as fast as the planet itself would wipe everything clean. Since everything else is moving with the planet, then when the planet comes to a sudden halt, everything will rapidly change its direction and move in the opposite direction incredibly fast. This is going to lead a lot of injuries to happen. The sun situation. Suppose the slowdown was even slower, then the effects would still be dramatic as ever and unfold over a more extended period. The first thing we'll probably notice is that the sun will no longer travel across the sky over 24 hours. The motion of the sun itself comes from the Earth's rotation. This is because the Earth is rotating around the sun. When the Earth stops so, we'll be seeing the motion of the sun differently. If our planet stopped, it would cause every day to last for a year and a half long. There will also be pretty long sunsets, but that shouldn't be a problem considering everybody loves them. Biological clock. With the days that we are used to 24 hours in a day, our biological clocks would be completely messed up. These biological clocks tell our bodies when we have to eat and sleep, and when we have to wake up to have sunlight. Several creatures on the Earth, such as bees and trees, rely on the biological clock, also known as the circadian rhythms. Their whole lives are spent knowing how to spend it in the right way. If these cycles end up changing, then it would change the behavior of these living beings, which would mess things up quite a lot. Atmospheric conditions. The atmospheric patterns on the Earth are also linked to its rotation. If the planet stopped rotating, that would significantly change how air currents have their pattern fixed. The wind patterns that we see today play a massive role in bringing rainfall and temperatures to our Earth. If any changes in the air currents occur, that could result in deserts blooming, whereas forests would be barren with no water present here. Other scenarios would also be reversed, where a frozen environment could quickly become habitable. A pattern is already being witnessed, although on a much smaller scale, where climate change is taking place, and it is taking place fast. Weather conditions around the globe are changing, and places that used to be heavy Rains decades ago now have significantly lesser rains. Areas that had winters for only a short period have the season going on for a good number of months. So if the globe stops rotating overall, that could be highly catastrophic for a number of environments and living beings. No more hurricanes. With disasters coming upon us one after the other, if the Earth stops moving, one disaster will go away as well. That is, of hurricanes. Hurricanes are created by Coriolis forces that derive from the planet's location. Winds are then pulled into the low-pressure area of a growing storm. They are then spun counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere and clockwise in the southern hemisphere. This results from spiraling lines and the central eye, which is the core of a hurricane. This process is one of the reasons a storm can grow to be a powerful and destructive force. Hence, if the planet stops spinning, one good thing would be the elimination of hurricanes forever. No magnetic field. Without our planets rotating, we have no magnetic field either. The core of the Earth is partly made of molten iron. The Earth's spinning motion turns its molten iron into a magnet. Although scientists are still a bit clueless in the exact manner of this situation, they say that a magnetic field is created by the movements of the Earth's liquid metal core. Scientists have called this phenomenon a dynamo. And the final result that we get from this is the magnetic field lines that are invisible to the eye that are arcing over our planet. As the Earth stops rotating, this magnetic field diminishes as well. It would be far worse than not being able to navigate compasses on our devices. The fields around the Earth protect us from cosmic rays and electromagnetic storms coming from the sun. If our magnetic fields become destroyed, we would be destroyed in a matter of hours. Same constellation. If the Earth stopped rotating, then every night we would see the same constellation of stars because you would be looking at space in the same direction. Since the Earth won't be moving, the stars will also remain in the same direction. This is an entirely different concept of stars rising and setting during the nighttime. As the Earth moves, this gives rise to different constellations in our sky with every passing day. Who would want to look at the same pattern of stars every night, right? The rotation of the Earth isn't coming to a halt soon. Many films, TV shows, and cartoons might have predicted it, which is their exaggeration, but the effects of the Earth's rotation coming to a halt will be no less than devastating. People will be flying off from one place to another, and they won't stop coming in different directions. With cosmic rays coming from outer space, these rays will leave us for toast. We won't be able to think of a few moments, and these cosmic rays will take over our entire bodies. The concept of the Earth coming to a standstill is a frightening one which we are not ready for if it ever comes about. So to everyone listening, be grateful that our planet is rotating. Our lives depend on its rotation. If it even stops rotating for a moment, then it could have catastrophic consequences for us all. Let's just hope that the Earth doesn't stop anytime soon for us.